People getting mad at me because I said I would leave my girl if she get big. I'm a dead ass tell you why. And this video reminded me of when girls used to record those videos before they got into a relationship and after. And in the videos, they would gain like massive amounts of weight, like above like 50 pounds. And of course, their appearance drastically changed, but also just the way they carry themselves changed. Like they always wear sweats and just basically like dress like slobs all the time. And everybody in the comments would be like, oh, that means you're comfortable. That means you love, it's happy weight and all these like positive things. And I remember I used to always think like, that man is going to grow to resent her. Because I feel like in the beginning, it's kind of cute, when you're able to kind of bare face, always, if you start gaining a little bit of weight. But after a while, I feel like if you're constantly just putting on more and more weight, you dress like a slob, he will grow to resent you. Because like he said in the video, that's not what he fell in love with.
To work through some internalized shame that's being projected. And
shout out to Poor Man's Podcast. Y'all go back and listen to the rest of that video and his feedback on it. She now has named herself an advocate against porn, I think. And for some reason, she doesn't understand why her husband left her once they got married. Now, yes, he knew that she was a porn star before they got married. He thought he could handle it, but he couldn't. So, in result, he divorced her. And for some reason, a lot of y'all women that work in the sex industry, i.e. strippers, OnlyFans models, Instagram models, like modern day prostitutes pretty much, y'all think a man should just accept your work and your past because you've made a lot of money from it, in which he does not give any fucks about how much money that you make. Y'all will never be wifed up. Y'all just get that through your head. You will never be wifed up. A man will never take you serious because you are a toy, pretty much.
So here's how to be the most attractive man in the room and never get friend zoned again. And I'm sharing this because I want you to be rich in every area of life. Hi, my name is Taylor, and that's what I'm here for. So in my last video, we talked about this spectrum of some people have a feminine essence. They're on this side of the spectrum. Other people that have a masculine essence are on this side of the spectrum. And we covered that for two people to have attraction, they need to be the same distance from the middle, but on opposite sides. That creates polarity or sexual attraction. Now guys, the women that typically friend zone men are women that live in this area right over here. That's the area where a woman treats herself very kindly. She takes care of her skin, she takes care of her hair. She's very feminine. She probably has a sweet voice. She might even be good at singing. A lot of the guys want her. She's in high demand. And let's face it, she's just a babe. And like we said, a woman on this side of the spectrum, this far from the middle, is going to be attracted to a guy that far from the middle on the opposite side, right? Cool, that's where the friend zone comes in. The friend zone is like right here. If you are a man and you're somewhere in this area right here, you're not as masculine as she is feminine, and therefore she doesn't have polarity with you or sexual attraction, so she has no choice but to put you in the friend zone. But I've got good news. If you're sitting here in the friend zone, don't worry. That's not prison. You're not staying in there for life. We're going to move you over here so that you can have polarity with her and she can be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize how hot you were. And the way that we do that is getting clear on what does a man that's in this area usually have that you might not have right now. And if I was to boil it down to a phrase, that man knows what he wants. He's clear. He's focused. He knows who he is. And obviously I'm not going into the wounded masculine and the wounded feminine. It's beyond the scope of this video. What I'm saying is the guy who's over here knows what he wants. He's clear, he shows up, he's present, he's solid. He's like an anchor, he's like a shade-giving tree. And what does a woman who's super feminine want? A shade-giving tree. Everyone loves a shade-giving tree. And guess what? Even if you don't think you have what it takes to be a more masculine man, someone who's more present, who provides safety, who provides clarity, you absolutely do, because if you're on that side of the spectrum already, you have a masculine essence, and that can be cultivated, it can be generated, it can be grown. And here's the real reason that this is cool and why you want to do this exercise in the first place, because it's much beyond getting a woman. Because when you cultivate presence and clarity and safety, you end up needing less, wanting less, desiring less. And it shifts your energy as a person from a I want to get that woman energy to I'm completely sure of myself, and to experience some wonderful times with a woman. Amazing, it's a bonus, but it's not needed. And that's the man that I think we all want to be. Here's to you cultivating more of whatever it is that you want to be and show up as in your life. Follow for more.
I never forget in college, I had this one professor that said to the whole class, you owe it to your partner to remain in the same level of looks and health that you were in when you first met this person. After he said that, the whole class kind of erupted, but mostly it was the women in the class. Most of the men just kept quiet. Now, my take on this, I think that you should remain in that same level of appearance that you were in when you first met your partner, because that was the main thing that drew your partner to you, your level of physical attractiveness, right? I can hear y'all right now talking about, well, what about pregnancy? Well, what about this? What about that? Do you understand what a woman's body goes through? I 100% get you. I understand. But I want y'all to know that this is not just directed at women. This is for men too. The men need to remain still on the same level of top tier physical attraction as well. Yes, beauty is fleeting. We understand. But if I met you at like a 130, 140, and you tacked on about 60 to 70 pounds over the course of a few years of the relationship, that's an issue. And not just for women, that's an issue for men as well. And for those of you that will still be upset with this commentary, I have to ask you a question. If after you gained this weight or you had the baby and you are not able to keep up with the same look, how do you deal with, or how would you deal with your significant other telling you that they are no longer attracted to you the way that you look? For most people, I think that headspace they would be put in would be pretty catastrophic, right? Like, what is your response to that? Like, I seriously want to know, what would you say to that? Because those of you that like to actually enter into physical intercourse with your partner, for the men, like, how do you stand at attention if you're not attracted to the person that you're with? I know y'all like to think that men just will sleep with a hole in the ground, but a lot of men aren't like that. And the same thing goes women. Like, how do you get in the mood to do something like that with a person that you don't find physically attractive? I assume y'all know this, but the experience is a whole lot better when you actually like the appearance of the person that you're doing this with. But on the flip side, if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody and they've tacked on this weight, not only does that affect their physical appearance, it affects their health. And being in a long-term relationship with somebody that has put on this amount of weight is taxing. It's taxing on the body. It's taxing on your stress levels. It's taxing on a whole bunch of different things that lead to other health issues. And you don't really want to be in a place that you are having to physically take care of the health of your partner if you don't have to. Because let's be for real, the majority of the time when people put on this type of weight in relationships, it's not due to health issues. Most of the time it's due to unhealthy life choices like overeating. And if you live in America, our diet here is terrible. And for the men, if you're putting on this weight due to your poor eating habits, that's going to affect your member. You around here trying to figure out why you all flaccid and can't get it up. It's your diet, bro. It's your diet. So while remaining at the same level of physical appearance is helpful in the attractiveness arena, it's also very beneficial when you're talking about health as well and health of the relationship overall.
Did upset me is this. They talk about men's mental health all the time. They pretend they care about us, but it's extremely difficult to be a man. It's very, very hard to go out there and become important as a man. You have to work your ass off.
It was hard.
It's hard, bro. You need to get in the gym. You need to get money. You need to be smart. You need to be charismatic. You need to be interesting. You have to have a nice house and a nice car. You need to be funny. You have to learn all these things. And I'm out there telling guys, look, it may not be fair, but that's the way the game works. I will teach you how to do it. You're not going to be important unless you go out there and make yourself important. I'm going to motivate you. I'm not going to try and tell you it's okay to be weak. I'm going to say, no, you need to be strong. I'm going to tell you how you can do it. Here's how you get a strong mind. I'm trying to help men not feel depressed anymore, because that's what I do. I get thousands of emails a week from men saying I've helped them with their depression, changed their way to the world, changed their worldview. Their life's been better. Their marriage is better. Whatever it is. My son is now going to the gym because of you, Andrew, after you watch you on TikTok. I'm helping so many people, and they pretend they care about men's mental health, and then they look at me and go, nah, we don't really care about men's mental health. Silence him, and let's give them someone else to watch who they don't feel affinity to. Men are only going to follow men they feel an affinity to. There's nothing wrong with men like me who want to live traditionally masculine lives. There's nothing wrong with wanting a nice car and a beautiful girl and to be a gentleman and to walk through life with honor and respect and dignity. That's all I teach. And they want to silence men like me, leave a whole bunch of men out there in the dark, and then try and fill my void with a whole bunch of creators who people don't feel affinity to and don't want to learn from. They don't care about men's mental health. They don't care about you. They don't care about men. And it annoys me when they're the ones who are going to say, oh, men's mental health, men's mental health. It's bullshit.
What'd you think of that? Because he got canceled. Like, they took his platform away
Oh,
because of
really?
the stuff he's saying.
I totally agree with everything he said.
You don't think it's harder life as a man than a woman?
No, I don't.
I do.
You do?
Because a man has the responsibility of supporting his household, supporting his family, supporting everyone, and we marry them and we're home, we have children, we have a choice to go out and work and make, but it all falls on his shoulders to make our life better.
Financially.
Yes, and if he can do that, that makes him happy and it makes his mental health better.